So a nurse went viral on TikTok for terrible reasons. While nursing is generally a widely considered respectable profession, something that only the most patient and kind and thoughtful people end up becoming for the most part, sometimes some people show up in the nursing career that honestly probably should not be there. Like, if you have a brain that is firing neurons or whatever that cause you to behave the way that this nurse did, girl, you shouldn't be in nursing. And I always try to have some compassion for people who, make mistakes on the internet. This particular mistake, some of her supporters at least have been saying, oh, she just made a mistake. But this mistake has consequences to the people who rely on her for care. So let's get into what the heck happened and I guess how people are reacting to it. So this is Yaz Scott. She's got a bit over 13,000 followers on TikTok, and apparently she goes live a lot while she's working as a nurse. And from my understanding, she is working in a nursing home treating elderly patients. On August 23rd, 2024, Yaz posted this video that says, POV, being a lover didn't work out, but you're, wrong form of you're, a nurse now. She has a bit of content from before this where she's studying to be a nurse, so seems like she had passed all of her licensing and stuff as of August of 2024. So she is a new graduate, new nurse, clearly a young person. There are just some things that I'm like, you should know better. Nurses do create a lot of content on TikTok, but from what I've seen, for the most part, these nurses are generally responsible with what they're posting. I don't know of any that go live while they're on the job. Like, it just seems like the nature of your job probably is not the safest thing to be live streaming in general because of like terms and conditions and policies and stuff on social media platforms. Like, God forbid there's an emergency that happens while you're live. What are you gonna do? Leave the phone there, or are you gonna take it with you? What are you gonna do? I don't know. It's weird. It's bizarre. So like, I get making content about being a nurse, maybe not while you're on the clock, while you're supposed to be caring for patients, like turning on the camera instead of doing your job. It just seems irresponsible. But Yaz here took it to a whole new level. Like I mentioned, she goes live while she's doing her job, and one of her live streams started going viral. So the video that's being passed around is a screen recording of one of her lives. As you probably know, on TikTok, if you go live, the live streams don't save, so you can't like go rewatch them. But thankfully, someone decided to pull out that screen recording app and get all this so that we can all see what's going on here. You're going to notice that the comments are all kind of like, girl, you're gonna lose your license. You should not be doing this. This is not a good idea. And the way she's talking to people is kind of like, leave me alone. Wow, why are you guys all up in my business? Like, that's kind of what it seems like. And it's like, you're a nurse. Obviously, I haven't mentioned this part yet, but I think the biggest issue, aside from the idea of having some kind of emergency where you have to run off and do your job, but the real true issue here is patient privacy, like HIPAA. So I actually was kind of looking into this. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm not a medical professional. I know what HIPAA is. My mom is in healthcare. She's been in healthcare since I was a little kid, so I guess I have like very minimal knowledge of it, I suppose. But anyway, for those who don't know, HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It's a federal law. It was enacted in the 90s, and its whole thing is like patient confidentiality. It is to protect patients. So it's like a national standard of protecting patient identity and their health information, and then it also helps people keep their health insurance and stuff. I found a website called HIPAAjournal.com, and they have like social media guidelines and stuff. I mean, they have a lot of stuff, a lot of resources for people who have to abide by HIPAA and their laws. Like, they have the first part on their website is how to become HIPAA compliant. They have compliance assessments, audit checklists, risk assessments, and stuff like that. So this website seems legit, and it seems to have up-to-date information. Their social media guidelines, it says, the most important rule for any HIPAA and social media guidelines is that social media content must never include protected health information. This must be front and center of any HIPAA compliance policy. It then gets into like FTC rules, because apparently maybe the FTC is involved in this somehow, but it basically says, like, if you make a social media post and no one's private health information is in that social media post, and as long as you abide by the rules of the FTC, it says you're fine. Like, as long as you're not exposing anyone to having their private information being handed out all over the internet, as long as you're not doing that, then girl, do you. Also on HIPAA Journal, it says what is considered protected health information under HIPAA. Health, treatment, or payment information and any identifiers maintained with this information is considered protected health information under HIPAA if the information is created, received, maintained, or transmitted by a covered entity or by a business associate. So what I'm gathering from that, and I think from what most of us kind of laymen's are gathering from that, is if there is an identifier, so like a patient's name, given alongside their health, their treatment, or payment information, then that would be a HIPAA violation. So there's also this chart that describes what kind of things would be considered a HIPAA violation if they were posted to social media. So these include sharing medical records or test results, tagging patients in posts or comments, posting birth announcements with details, uploading staff photos with patient information visible, sharing photos of whiteboards or charts, using patient stories without consent, posting patient videos or photos, discussing cases even anonymously, revealing patient diagnoses or treatments, sharing facility location updates during work, disclosing patient info in responses to reviews, posting about celebrity patients or notable cases, sharing funny patient encounters online. This apparently has just led to an increase in HIPAA violations in the United States over the past probably decade or so, ever since social media has been a thing. The things that I want you to focus on here are, I would say, discussing cases even anonymously and revealing patient diagnoses or treatments. Maybe posting patient photos or videos while you're live streaming, while you're on the job as a nurse. There are other background conversations going on where things can be heard. Like, it just sounds like a really dangerous situation for the patients involved. She might sit here and think that she's doing nothing wrong, and some of her supporters seem to think that she's not doing anything wrong either. And, you know, maybe since I'm not a nurse or a healthcare professional, maybe I'm thinking about this too deeply, but I really do think that, like, if I were a patient and I found out that my nurse was live streaming while preparing my medicine or preparing my treatments, I feel like that would make me uncomfortable. This isn't a case of her making, like, curated content that for sure has no patient identities being blasted everywhere. It's just about her day in the life of the nurse, which Yaz, by the way, does have a video that's like a day in the life of a nurse, which I'll put on the screen here. But the biggest issue is that she's live streaming. So I guess without further ado, let's watch this video. Whoever screen recorded this, they went and posted it on TikTok, but it's edited. So, like, I'm not doing any of the editing. They were just kind of chopping it up and putting the more controversial moments of the live stream into this video to essentially be like, ha, exposed. But really though, I mean, I feel like it's necessary. I feel like this is a conversation we need to be having because, like, in the age of social media, this seems irresponsible for a healthcare worker to be doing. So, okay. The caption in the middle of this that I believe was put on screen by the person who did the screen recording, it says live streaming during MedPass. I had to Google what a MedPass was because, I mean, it's exactly what you think it is, but basically I just wanted to make sure. A MedPass refers to the process of administering medications to patients in a healthcare setting. It involves healthcare professionals such as nurses systematically distributing prescribed medications to patients at scheduled times. So what we're going to see here is that she is preparing everyone's little cups of medication while live streaming. So not only is she distracted, which could lead to maybe accidentally giving someone the wrong medication or the wrong dosage, which could be so dangerous to somebody's health. In the video we're about to watch, she has said and done some things that put some of her patients at risk for having their personal information found out by millions of people, like on TikTok. It's wild. But okay, so here's the video. It starts out, there's 47 viewers on this live at the beginning here. And the comments on the screen here says, "This strikes me as a way to lose your nursing license." And what we're gonna see is that she's immediately going to start being like, wow, you guys are so overreacting. No, I don't think they are.
Oh my God, y'all just be on here doing the most. Just relax.
Yes, ma'am.
The person who edited this video and screen recorded it and whatever, they're the ones who censored that, but what they put on the screen there was that she said a patient's name, and she's talking to somebody else, another coworker or whatever. Again, there's conversations going on around her that could be a HIPAA violation to live stream, but here she is saying identifying information. Now at this point there's 90 people watching this live, but anyway, let's continue.
You do mornings. Yeah.
She said it again.
Healthcare girly. Okay.
Can you check my pants, see if they're dry?
Let me get a glove on. Nope, they feel dry, girlfriend. You have a... Ain't no patient information showing, okay? So y'all just relax. Oh my God, why do y'all keep doing that? I'll lose my license if I'm showing patient information. I'm not showing any patient information, so...
Okay, but you said a patient's name. Like, is that not somebody's personal information that, you know, I don't know if her place of work was ever made public. I don't know. She works with elderly patients is what I understand, but I don't know if her actual place of work and its location and everything, like, I don't know if that much has been found out. But, like, to me, I'm like, she's holding a pen here, knowing that, you know, my mom, having worked at doctors' offices her entire adult life, we always had pens at home that had like office information, the name of the office and phone numbers and stuff on those pens that like my mom would bring home. Like if you go to a doctor's office, a lot of times they have their own pens and stuff. So it's like, with how careless she's being, I'm sure someone somewhere has figured out where she works. And it's like, okay, so if someone knows where you work and now you're out here blasting patient information or at least saying their name, so now we know that, I don't know, let's make up a name, Jessica Schmessica. Thanks to this woman, now everybody knows that Jessica Schmessica goes to this specific facility to receive healthcare, or she's staying there, or she's receiving treatments there. I don't know, but to me, this is enough to be like, you probably shouldn't have said that. Like, this is probably too much.
Just relax. Just relax. If y'all see some patient information, then just holla. But I'm not showing nothing. I'm just at work. So just chill. Sit back, you know, relax. Damn. I'd be taking the fun out of everything.
It's not about fun. You're a nurse. Like, you're treating people's health with medications and stuff. Like, it's you. This isn't about, oh, it's not fun anymore when you don't let me go live on TikTok while I'm filling people's medications and talking about them using their full names. This Evelyn A person says, no, you can lose your license by just being live at work. I feel like, yeah, a lot of these comments are mentioning that it's a nursing home. This Maddie person says, if we hear anything, that breaks HIPAA as well. Just because we can't see the paperwork doesn't mean that we aren't able to get our hands on patient information that we shouldn't be, you know? Like, if we hear their name and we know the facility you work at, then that's a problem.
Damn. Just chill. And nobody's mad. That's the thing. Who's mad? I'm just telling y'all.
Claire said, you're only mad because we're right.
Gotta relax, chill. You're not seeing any patient information. You're not seeing nothing, so just relax. Y'all be doing the absolute most. Obviously, this is the first time y'all been on here, because I go live. This ain't the first time that y'all be just doing the most. This is not sanitary, but...
This is not sanitary, but let me just live stream this to now 125 people of me using my teeth to open what seems to be maybe a sterile packaging. Ugh. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, she's an LPN, so she's not like a nurse practitioner. She's, what is an LPN again? I gotta Google it. A licensed practical nurse. It's an entry-level nursing professional, and they're under the supervision of registered nurses. So she's not even an RN, but okay. I mean, I'm sure in nursing school, they certainly must have taught you not to use your teeth to open packaging to give people their medication. What is that? Let me rewind it. I think it's a lidocaine patch. If you didn't know, it's like a numbing agent. So, and the picture on the bag has like someone's lower back. So it's a pain relief something that she's going to be giving someone that she just opened with her teeth.
I've been working on my own now. Actually, y'all, I just started this job. I've only been here for probably about a month. 1 second. Thank you for the file. Oh, shoot.
So she made a mistake. So while she was sitting here bitching to the chat, being like, you guys are being too overdramatic, you guys are doing too much, turns out all of that distraction caused her to make a mistake. So I'm assuming this must be a patient's room or something where she's preparing the medication. She's got her little cart, so she prepares it, she goes in, knocks on the door, gives it to the patient, comes back out, realizes she made a mistake, had to go back in and fix it. This is exactly why it's like, why are you doing this? Why are you live streaming?
Actually, it wasn't the wrong medication. It's just the lidocaine patch. You're supposed to have it in the daytime, not at night.
So I guess she's here at night. She gave the patient the lidocaine patch that she opened with her teeth and then was like, oh shit, you're not supposed to have this. You showed us that you ripped open a lidocaine patch with your teeth for no reason, because she wasn't even supposed to have it. She's only supposed to have it during the daytime. I mean, this is valid criticism.
I've only been a nurse. I passed my NCLEX August 15th. Your facility does not have safety concerns with you preparing meds online. How long were you in?
Your facility does not have safety concerns with you preparing meds on live. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure they do. And she said she's only been working for this place for a month. It's like, do they know that you're doing this? How would they not notice that you've been doing this? Does she always work the night shift? Like, who is her supervisor, you know? I feel like a lot of mistakes have been made by multiple people in this situation.
School before becoming a nurse. Right.
I just want to ask you, hold on, can I take a shower?
Your showers aren't at night, I guess. I guess your showers are during the day. Oh my God.
Was that her talking to a patient? So that was a conversation that she just had on live with a patient while people were watching. She's asking when she can take a shower. We don't know who that patient was or what their identity was, but still, like, if that were me, I wouldn't want that conversation plastered all over social media. Like, what? And she was so rude about it too. She's like, no, she wasn't nice. Like, be nice. Do they not teach you to be nice in nursing school? Pretty sure part of being a nurse is like providing comfort to your patients and stuff. Like, nurses do amazing work, and a lot of it is because of how supportive and kind they generally can be to people who are in vulnerable situations. What I just witnessed is not kindness.
Y'all are just nerve-wracking. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. So, nursing home. I'm at a nursing home. I'm gonna come talk to y'all for a second. Y'all are in these comments. Let me block this hoe. I'm just now reading some of these.
Let me block this hoe. I don't know who she's talking about, but it's probably someone who's just like, maybe you shouldn't be doing this.
How do I even block on here? Because, bitch, y'all, it was doing way too much. Way too much. Yes, girl, I love doing nursing content. As long as
I saw on the cart rolling and instantly popped into something, you're on the clock and this inappropriate. I agree. I think this is inappropriate.
I'm not showing any patient information, I don't understand why y'all be on here doing so much. Just doing way too much. Thank God. Kari, let me go ahead and just block you, boo. Y'all be on here just doing too much. Girl, I know what HIPAA is. I've been in the healthcare field a very long time, even as a CNA. Like, I know what HIPAA is.
How old are you? Like, she's definitely younger than me. She's got to be in her 20s. I've been in healthcare for a very long time. Girl, please.
I appreciate y'all on here that's having my back, because they just doing too much. Like, I done been in healthcare way too fucking long. I'm not about to sit on here and argue with nobody or do none of that. It's not happening. Was tripping. I'm just now being able to see everything. God damn. Let me go ahead and get this last guy. But that's the one annoying part, because that's their job to do that. And they just don't do it. So now I have to go get some vitals after passing all of these meds for 20 people.
Okay, so that was the entire video that's been being passed around. At the end there, she was just like bitching about, I guess what is a CNA? A certified nursing assistant or nurse aide is a healthcare professional who provides basic patient care under the supervision of a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse, which is what she is. Once this all started kind of getting passed around, I ended up finding this girl on Facebook. As of this morning, this post has been deleted, but thankfully I screenshotted it yesterday when I I was preparing for all this, so I still have it. Anyway, she put out a statement and it said, I want to take a moment to directly address the video circulating of me at work. First and foremost, I understand the seriousness of the situation and how it may appear without the full context. What full context? You were live streaming. I mean, I know the video we were just watching was not the full live stream, but like, I don't think I need context to be able to determine that what you were doing is inappropriate. The original video was live and unedited. At no point did I say or show any patient's name or violate HIPAA regulations. I take patient privacy extremely seriously as both a professional and a person who cares deeply about those I serve. Okay, well, this video, they bleeped out you saying someone's name twice. Maybe she's just banking on like, well, you can't prove what I said there because the video was edited. It's the same shit that, like, if you didn't know, if you're new to this channel, I generally cover multi-level marketing companies. I cover a lot of multi-level marketing distributors and stuff, and they all say something very similar to this, where they'll be like, oh wow, you're just taking my lives out of context, you're taking my videos out of context, you're chopping them up and making them look like I said something I didn't say. And it's like, no. Like, you said what you said, some things have been edited, but it does not affect the reality of the situation, the final outcome. Like, I will admit that, yeah, maybe the person who uploaded this video said you were saying someone's name and you really weren't. But based on everything else in that video, I totally believe that the person who uploaded that video was being honest. Regarding the concern about the lidocaine patch, I did not apply the patch to the patient. I initially placed it in the room, but upon realizing it was not the correct time for administration, I immediately corrected the error by retrieving it before it was applied. No medication was administered incorrectly and no patient was harmed. Sure, okay, but like the whole point is like, maybe if you weren't so distracted by yelling at people on TikTok, you know, maybe you wouldn't have made that mistake. Did you waste the lidocaine patch? I mean, I would have thrown it away anyway. You got your slobber all over it by using your teeth to open the package. Jesus Christ. It's not a matter of, oh my God, you gave the patient the wrong medication. It's a matter of like, the way that you were choosing to use your time and energy may have contributed to you making that mistake. And then it's like, what other mistakes did you make that you didn't catch? You know, it's just a matter of principle. It's like, you are working a very important job and you should not be distracting yourself with social media. Why are you even allowed to have a freaking phone while you're doing such important work like this? Anyway, I acknowledge that going live at work, even without revealing identities or details, was not the best judgment on my part. I'm reflecting deeply on that and learning from this experience. I will not be engaging in any type of social media activity while on shift in the future. Good. That's great. That kind of deep reflection is something that, first of all, we don't see very often when people are caught up in controversies. So kudos to her for that. Hopefully she's actually truly doing that and is going to change her ways, but I guess time will tell. To those who have supported me, thank you. To those with concerns, I hear you. Okay, you literally like called someone a hoe. You blocked them. I'm gonna block this hoe.
Let me block this hoe.
Like, what? I mean, you hear it now because there's backlash, but at the moment you were just like pompous and I'm in the right and you guys are just being haters, basically. It's like, girl. Anyway, my priority has always been to give my patients the best care possible, and I will continue to do so with humility, responsibility, and professionalism. The video posted was clipped and edited. Yeah, we know, but it doesn't change the context. You were live streaming at work, period. Look very closely. This will all be handled in due time. Is she threatening to sue this person? Thank you for taking the time to read this. Yaazmin Scott, LPN. And so I did also take some screenshots of the comments that were there. Good on me. See, I'm learning. There have been too many times where I've like tried to make videos and just like copied the links and like I'll go back to them later. No, you gotta screenshot and screen record everything, Savannah. Otherwise things just get thrown out. The top comment was from someone named Kayla Brown that just said, have a nice day, and it's a screenshot of them submitting a complaint. Yaz commented and said, it's okay, you guys, let her have it. I've already been in contact with the state. I'm headed to work. You've been in contact with the state? Really? And they're okay with this? This person responded, trust me, Buki, your little complaint won't go far. Actually, it won't go anywhere. But thank you for showing us what a real hater looks like. A hater. She's a hater. What? Good for Kayla Brown for caring about patient confidentiality and like protecting the rights of patients and shit. Like, you're gonna sit here and call her a hater? It's almost like calling someone a narc for telling on you. Like, it's just like, this is serious. If she had not been stopped in her tracks now, who knows? Oh, hi, Pippi. She purred. Yeah, who knows what kind of mistakes she would have made in the future? What kind of patient information she would have accidentally let run free on the internet? Like, we don't know. She's actually lucky that she's getting this reality check now. Hopefully she doesn't lose her license. Well, I say hopefully for her sake, I guess, but like, I'm indifferent to whether or not she loses it. Like, I do believe that, you know, people make mistakes, but it's like, if she used to be a, what was it, CNA or whatever, and now she's an LPN, and she's been in healthcare for so damn long, how did you manage to convince yourself that this is okay? This other person says, girl, what? Find something to do or get your LPN and let me find you and complain over dumb shit. This isn't dumb shit. This is patient confidentiality. This person said, dang, you vicious boo. You want another sister to lose her job. You are the problem. Shake my head. This shit pisses me off because, like, and this is also similar to what I hear in the world of covering anti-MLM. People being like, wow, just another woman tearing down another woman, and she's so jealous that this woman is so successful that she has to make content and tear her down. It's like, no, what I believe that you are doing is harmful to people. Also, just because you're a woman doesn't mean I'm going to support you in everything you do, whether it's ethical or moral or not. That's not true. There are plenty of women out there who are monsters. From the top of my head, I can tell you that Christy Nome is one woman that I will never, ever, ever support. She's a dog killer, and she's just a terrible person. A racist, horrible person. Casey Anthony, child murderer. Hate her. I don't give a shit if you're a woman, if you're a man. I don't care what your race is. I don't care any of that shit. If you're doing something objectively harmful to other people, you should be called out. I'm sure I'm gonna get people in my comments also leaving comments like this as well. Fine. I mean, if you really want to sit here and die on this hill of she just made a mistake, it's fine. Like, you are not being considerate of the people she could potentially harm. She is being irresponsible, period. Okay, I have a few more comments on here. Shay Williams said, people love saying this was a mistake. This is not a mistake. This was a choice and it shouldn't have happened. If I walked past my family member's room and seen a nurse go live, you would have been fired on the spot. See, I agree. Like, if I were in a hospital, whether I'm the patient or caring for a patient or the family member or a friend or loved one of a patient, I would be pissed to see this, period. I don't care if you're a woman, a man. I don't care. That would piss me off. But generally, she's getting a lot of support from people. Like, there's only a few comments on here that weren't supportive, but that also makes me think like she might have been deleting comments, and as we know now, she deleted the entire post. So I think the more attention this started getting, the more hate comments she was getting, so she decided to just delete the entire statement. This comment said, this is wild. You should have went viral for graduating and obtaining your license. Instead, you go viral for making a mistake. Shake my head. People love misery and tearing black women down. It's not about that, but okay. It's not a mistake, just as that other commenter said. This was her choice, and she even said, like, this isn't my first time doing this. It's like, okay, so someone needed to stop you. It's inappropriate. So you've been humbled. Great. Sometimes we learn things the hard way. I have learned so many things the hard way. And guess what? I think I'm a better person for it. Yaz, I think you're going to come out the other end of this being like, oh shit, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. And being a better nurse for it. Like I said earlier, you are lucky that this happened now and not after, like, someone was actually given the wrong medication and was actually harmed by it. In response to that comment, Pamela K. Nash said, she tore herself down with her behavior. The fact that she didn't have the good sense not to do what she did gives me great pause. I agree. I mean, again, mistakes. Okay, she knows not to do this shit again. Hopefully she learns. This is a good comment here. In response, they said, it's a mistake that could cost someone their life. This isn't the same as flipping a burger or ringing up a customer at 7-Eleven. She even made a medication mistake with a lidocaine patch, and she literally opened the package with her teeth, which is a no-no. And when I watched the full clip, she's talking bad about the CNAs in addition to calling out the patient's name. If your mother was getting treated, do you want her nurse to be live streaming on TikTok, or do you want the nurse focusing on her job? And the only response was, I'm a teacher. I get that there is negligence. Do you? Because you're just like, it's a mistake. This G. Cruz PA person is speaking sense here. There are reasons why there are rules for this kind of stuff. And I'm not even a nurse, and I know that, like, the moment I saw this whole situation, I'm like, whoa, like, she shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, one final thing. There obviously Like I showed you, there are a lot of nice comments on her personal Facebook post, but on TikTok, it's kind of a different story. There are quite a lot of people responding to the situation. So let's watch some of them.
I want to talk about our friend who went live during her med pass. What are you doing? You said you weren't breaking any HIPAA laws, but we heard your resident, not even your patient, bro. You work in long-term care. Those are patients, but they are considered your residents. Like, that's their home. That is not only like a huge HIPAA violation, right? Because you said the person's name multiple times. You made medication errors on camera. But like, where's the dignity and respect of the people that you take care of? You are a person that they trusted to come into their home and take care of them because they could no longer do it themselves. And you're out here going live for 100 people to watch you do the things that you're doing. Mind you, you're making tons of mistakes. Then you're calling us crazy for looking out for you and trying to tell you, girl, your fucking license is on the line. Like, make it make sense. All that hard work and education for what? For you to not utilize it the right way? Like, where are all the brain cells that you used during nursing school? Hello? You know what? I never wish bad upon people, but I hope the Board of Nursing revokes that shit from you real quick. Because nobody deserves to be in your care because of how poorly you probably do.
This one has 143,000 likes, which would translate to a lot more views. So let's see what this one says.
You got to be a different kind of dumb to get on here and record yourself on live as a nurse doing a medication pass. HIPAA! The worst part about it is this girl said a patient's name not one, multiple times on here. Talking about something, I'm not breaking HIPAA. You can't see patient information. Girl, we can hear it. Then, baby, you made a medication error on camera. So now I know what med Betty Sue is on. That patient should and could sue the fuck out of you. Do y'all think that they're giving away licenses for fun? The Board of Nursing will come in your license before you can say I'm sorry. Like, people on the live are trying to warn you. Like, girl, you're breaking HIPAA. Girl, log off. Girl, get off. Girl, get off. And she like, it's not that serious. Y'all dragging it. Y'all doing too much. For your 55 viewers, so you about to lose your license for 55 views. Remember, social media is social media. Your license is all you got. You need to protect that shit at all costs. Girl, get off the fucking live. You have to record of all things, you passing medication. Something where you should be focused anyways. You at the camera talking to the patient, at the camera, responding to people. Girl.
As you can see, like, the comments that were on Yaz's Facebook were people being supportive and yelling at haters. When you go on TikTok, in places where Yaz can't control the comments, it's a totally different story. Alexis says, all that nursing school for nothing. Right. At least, like, maybe they would suspend her license. Is that a thing you can do with nursing licenses? Like, can you suspend it and then get it back? Ansley said, no, because let me find out someone gives my grandma the wrong meds because they wanted to make a live. Exactly. It's so bizarre. Brittany Davis says, and the internet is forever. When Yaz Scott's kids go asking mom, why'd you lose your license? They'll have the truth at their fingertips. Jasmine said she had no gloves, using her teeth and on live recording. Victoria said, I'm so confused why she thinks it's only bad if someone sees a patient's name. Girl, we're not supposed to know anything about your patient. Yeah, we also know that you don't let them shower at night. So, reported, and you all should do the same. This has 38 replies. Agreed. I see she she did private her TikTok account, but apparently it's back. I see she unprivated her account, and the people in her comments are hyping her up. What's going on? I have to assume she's deleting comments because there's no way. Probably, yeah. I mean, she deleted her original Facebook post addressing it, so yeah. And what pisses me off was people defending her in the comments saying, y'all will take any excuse to hate on a black nurse. Like, what does her race have any relevance here? I agree. The fact that she left in the middle of med pass to check the comments. She said, y'all take the fun out of everything. Girl, it's a med pass. This isn't a game. Period. All right, let's maybe see one more. Let's find one that has a good amount of views.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but get off social media while you're at work. There's currently a girl going viral because she was at her med cart on TikTok live, making med errors on the live. She basically put on a lidocaine patch on a patient that wasn't due until the nighttime, and then she realized, so she went to go pull off the patch off the patient because you're not focusing.
Okay, well, we know that that's not, well, she claims it's not true. She claims she gave them the lidocaine patch and it wasn't applied, and then she went back and took it from them. So I think this lady is assuming more than what actually happened, but I don't know. All we have is Yaz's words being like, no, I just like put the lidocaine patch there. I didn't actually apply it to the patient, but maybe she did. Maybe she's just trying to cover her ass, you know? I guess we don't know for sure, because at this point I don't really trust anything that this Yaz girl says. She needs to take time to think about her actions and reflect on them before I could say that I trust anything she says, because as of 3 days ago she was on a live calling people a hoe when they were trying to tell her she should stop live streaming her nurse duties. But anyway,
because you're worried about reading comments. And towards the end of the live, she starts talking shit about her CNAs and how they didn't do the vitals the whole shift. And if y'all know, you know that vital signs and med pass go together hand in hand. So you telling me you giving blood pressure pills without taking a blood pressure first?
Whoa.
School is way too hard. NCLEX, sleepless nights, early mornings, late nights, to throw it away for social media? You're crazy.
That's a good point, actually. It does seem like before you give someone medication, you should be checking their vitals, right? Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not a healthcare professional, so I'm not positive. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like that would be the responsible thing to do, but I don't know. Anyway, that's the extent of the situation so far. I guess I don't want to sit here and be like, I hope she loses her license. I feel like from a compassionate standpoint, like, I hope that she does reflect and that she does get better and turns into a responsible nurse who does her job and does it well. It seems wild for someone who worked so hard to get a nursing license and you know, go through nursing school and stuff, only to just like play around with it like this. Like, it is absolutely wild. And then for her to defend herself and then for other people to defend her is also wild to me. I don't know how you can look at a situation like this and be like, it was just a mistake. Like, even if my best friend did something like this, I'd be like, girl, like, this is bad. You should not have done this. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, it's okay. Good friends don't do that shit. Good friends hold each other responsible for when they fuck up. So all those Facebook people who are like, yeah, you're doing great. It's like, I don't think you're being the supportive friend that you think you are. I think you're being an enabler. But anyway, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I hope that anyone else who's a nurse out there, I think most nurses would know not to do the shit that Yaz did. I don't know. Maybe this is a cautionary tale for any nurses out there. And I know I have nurses in my audience, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna get so mad. Not at me, but at the fact that she did this. So yeah, I expect fully that there will be people in my comments making some really good points that I couldn't make myself because I'm not a nurse. Yeah, I appreciate that any of you take the time to leave a comment and join the conversation. So anyway, we're gonna end it here, but before we do, I just want to thank my patrons and my members, guys. The list of names I'm about to read off are my financial supporters. They get access to things like our private Discord server. We have a postcard club, early access to videos whenever I'm able to get that out to you, and sometimes even more than that. So if anything like that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/Savannah Marie, or you can click the join button beneath this video to join my YouTube memberships. Just whatever platform you want to join on works for me if it works for you. So with that, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Jacqueline Nutton, Kessie Drew, KJ Barnes, Leanne, Marie Silver, Caroline Reed, Daniel Urena, Maddie Darley, Ray, Stephanie Mayfield, Luciana Valiente, Emily Jean, Miss Blue, Hannah Moe, Alex Gollum, Love to Be Evil, Liz Sahu, Char City Gaming, Evan Adler, Kelsey Nicole, LaSalle Story, Fluffy Duck Butt 24, Elaine, Ferd Turgeson Esquire, Just Mark, Baby Pink Pearl, Alice Wagner, Fallon Harris, Jessica Billhart, and Emion. And to the rest of my financial supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. And even if you're not a financial supporter, thanks for making it to the end of this video, because YouTube loves watch time. Just helps my videos get seen by more people. I also forgot to mention we're on 100K watch, so if you haven't subscribed, please do that. It means a lot to me if you do that, because I'm inching my way closer to 100,000 subscribers. So thank you if you do that. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.